Hello bearded bee people. Welcome back to B&K Bees. Today we had fed all of the yards. We brought communal feed out to all the yards. And now we're doing one of my least favorite things in beekeeping, and that is inventory and dead-out cleanup and going through the last year's honey boxes, setting out all of the drawn frames and pulling out the ones that aren't completely drawn so that I can kind of evenly distribute those amongst our honey hives here when that stuff starts to happen. But the time crunch isn't on the honey boxes. The time crunch is on these brood boxes. Obviously there's no difference in dimensions or the way they look from the outside because we run all deeps, but some have been brood frames for a long time, and so we don't use those as honey frames. And some of these are dead out boxes, and some of them were boxes that we had pulled off of colonies to condense and combine in the fall. So some's really good and ready to go right now. Some needs some cleanup. It all needs to be, scraped of propolis and scraped of burr comb and all that kind of stuff that we all love to do. And as you can see, we have some company because I had a bunch of frames in the truck before we left today. And so that Katie could get in the truck, I had to pull those frames out, and I set them down right over there, and they had a couple patches of honey here and there. So all of our bees are local bees because we have a few hives still here and another yard like less than a mile that way. So all of the bees came down to inspect those couple of honey frames. And so since then I poured a bucket into that communal feeder to give them something else to pay attention to other than the frames that we're trying to pay attention to. So there's a lot of stuff to go through. As you see, this stuff is all mostly brood. Hi, Katie.
Hello.
So this stuff's brood stuff. We've got foundationless frames there for comb honey, some blank stuff, some good honey frames, and all of this stuff yet to go through. So there's boxes and boxes back there that we haven't gone through yet. Some of them are empty, and we've got completely blank foundation frames to go on them or in them. But some of them, like I said, have honey frames from last year. At least a couple of those stacks are full of honey frames from last year. So got to get those separated so that I don't add them as brood frames and so that I can utilize them when the nectar starts to flow. So it's just kind of organizing and cleanup and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, the stuff we love to do as beekeepers. So, all right, I'm going to get back to work, and I'll chat with you guys a little bit later. Alright, so we are largely done. I say largely because there's still a bunch of frames to scrape. And we have brand new frames in the shed that have yet to be pulled out and put into the empty boxes and all that kind of stuff. But the stuff that I needed to get done in order to be able to do my bee work over the course of the next couple of days is in fact done. So this front row here, that stack, that one, 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 that one. All those are brood boxes ready for adding to the singles and replacing the frames when I pull out frames for the builders and for the mating nukes. And then behind this main row, we have honey boxes ready to get put on production colonies with drawn frames, and then of course those will be interspersed with blank stuff and with Truly Blank stuff. So with foundation and with Truly Blank frames for comb honey. So we are better than I thought we were in terms of inventory and you know, what we need. So I'm not in any emergency situation, which is what I honestly thought I was in. I thought we were going to be really, really hurting because we did better this winter than I had expected. So we have more bees and fewer equipment than I had expected, but we also have more equipment than I expected. So it'll work itself out. It will be okay. So I'm not worried. I do have to order stuff. I do have to paint stuff. I have, you know, work to do, but we're all right. And we will definitely not have any, you know, cramped swarms for lack of equipment or anything like that. So I'm happy about that, and I'm happy to say that this work's done, and I'm gonna go sit down. So thanks for watching. Get out there and have some fun with your bees. See ya.